there is a very small difference between living from creativity and depression. And I know what you're thinking. These two things are so different. And while they seem to have a lot of different properties, people living from creativity are always happy, inspired to do things, creating new things, and people living from depression just seem to be stuck and looping and doing the same thing over again. They have the same essence. They're coming from the same core of the void. So when you're depressed, you really don't want anything to do with what's going on with your life. There's a sense of emptiness regarding your life, and you are living in the void, you could say. You could say you're living through the void, where your life is empty. It's sort of hollow. You don't find pleasure from anything. You aren't enjoying. Um, and when you are living from creativity, there is still a sense of that void. It is still around because to create something new, there must be an emptiness for the creation to emerge. So why are they so different? Why are people living from creativity so happy? People living from depression so sad? And how does this emerge? So, this is what I'm going to attempt to answer in this video for you guys, and I hope you enjoy it. So, what I've found with depression is it is, in a sense, a lack of acceptance with the void. You know, you're in it, and I mean, you can be in acceptance with the void while you are depressed, but for the most part, you are just miserable. You are miserable to be. You don't want to be anymore. You're like, oh, what is the point of living in this emptiness? Um, and it sort of it makes sense from that perspective, right? There's no it's sort of a nihilistic perspective. There's no meaning to anything inherent, um, no inherent meaning, and you just feel stuck. You feel like everything going on is just uh, repetition, mundane, boring, and this can really become a pattern. This substanceless of life, and to an extent, this is reality. There's existence and there's non-existence, and we are existing. So non-existence must exist, as is duality, right? If you're going to distinguish one thing from another, you must realize that the opposite is also true. So there's existence and there's non-existence. I'm not saying this is ultimate truth, and this is just this is how people are perceiving their lives. So when someone gets creative about this void, they start to embrace it and embody it a little bit more than, or a little bit more balanced than someone who is depressed. You know, there's a recognition that this void is there, and they're sort of living with it, and through it, substance forms, new ideas and new creations, if you will, from the mind. It's hard to use the word new because ultimately every moment is new. Everything is constantly refreshed. So it's hard to it's just hard to use any term in this. These are just words, these are just ideas. So if someone is depressed now, they are trapped in their old way of thinking, right? So they recognize, yes, there's this void, there is this lack of substance to my life, but they're kind of just on a loop. Nothing's really changing, and they get sort of bogged down by their reality. Whereas with creativity, this is a recognition of this. I mean, you don't even have to consciously recognize it, but through the emptiness, things are forming. So if your mind is blank, then new ideas come, new things emerge within yourself, new ideas, um, new thoughts, new anything, just new perspectives ultimately. And it's so similar. The mindset of depression versus creativity are so similar. The real There's just a small difference, and it's that creativity, there's just not a sense of pessimism. It's emerging without a judgment, right? It's just coming through blankness, from substanceless, substance comes. Uh, so I get this is a kind of a complicated subject, and for me to attempt to address it in a short YouTube video is kind of challenging, but here we are, and I hope that I was able to convey it to you. Even from speaking about this, it shows that it's hard to speak about, in any sort of step down from oneness, from being. There's such a layer of complexity, and there's no ultimate truth within that mind realm of being. So, hope you got something out of this video, and thank you for watching.